Hello. So it says I'm live. I always watch a little weird if it works well or not. But I don't see anyone in here yet. But, some people come in. I'll keep talking, obviously, so that the replay, for people makes sense. But when you are the first person to get here, if you can, leave me a note that lets me know that you can hear me okay and see me okay, that would be great. And hey everyone, I'm Rebecca. This is the Reseller Mom Show live edition. And this channel is all about getting more done, making more money, and staying sane while raising kids and reselling online. I see that someone's here. If you can just comment, let me know that you can hear me and see me, that'd be great. I'm still pretty new at this. I've only done a handful of lives. If you can't, that's fine, but welcome. And I just wanted to kind of go live and announce a couple of things. I think it's the easiest way for me to do it. And it didn't really make sense to make it like a standalone video. Great. Thank you so much. Hey, good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, am I going to get, no. Okay. That's something different. This is actually something I want to do a video on. This is a little interesting thing. If you do a Fitbit, this is the charge, and you can set it up to get notifications from your phone on here. I guess it's not rocket science. It's like an Apple Watch or whatever, but I don't have that. I wanted the Fitbit. But like Poshmark stuff can come to my phone. YouTube stuff can come to my phone. Come to my watch thing. eBay stuff. It's so cool. But anyway, so today I just wanted to do a live to make a couple of announcements regarding the YouTube channel, to do a Q&A if anyone has them. And then I actually have a really small local closet clear out that I picked up the other day, and I thought I could do a mini haul live. I haven't opened it yet. I don't know what's in there, but it's a small box, so it can't be too many things. And I can kind of share with you the process that I go through when I do a local closet clear out. And I can explain more about that. And if you're interested, there is a whole video about it on the channel as well. I'm not used to having my hair down, so I keep playing with it. But so let's start with the announcements. And if you guys have any questions and you want to put them in, or anything you want to talk about, put them in the chat, and I can be paying attention to that too, hopefully. But so some of the announcements regarding the channel is that I'm almost to the points where I can monetize. I'm very excited. If you've watched any of my prior videos where I've talked about it, the only goal I set for myself in kind of doing this journey of having a YouTube channel was to monetize by the end of the year. Not because I think I'm going to get rich off of it, but because I think I just need a little something coming in from it to help offset the time. It is pretty time consuming. And while I enjoy it a lot, and it's been a great outlet and resources, it's been really great to kind of have the accountability and also the force to do things, because now I feel like there's people out there watching. And so it helps me step my game up a little bit, and just lets me get some thoughts out. So it's been great for that purpose. And I hope it's been helpful to the reseller moms out there that have been watching, and that we're building up a little bit of a community of reseller moms that want to kind of have this camaraderie. I do feel like it is taking away from reselling, and where would my reselling business be if I was only focused on that? So of course you want to make a little money at it. With that being said, I think I'm on track for it to happen. So I'm very excited for that. And also the announcements are that I'm really going to kind of widen the schedule. So on Sunday, I did my first Sunday edition of What Sold Fast. Normally those go up on Monday. I usually try to go through everything, record them on a Sunday, and I post them on a Monday. Now those are going to go up ASAP on a Sunday, as long as everything looks good. So Sundays are going to be What Sold Fast, items that sold in less than 2 weeks, or any other notable sales, like sales over $30, or just other interesting things for the week like that regarding sales. So that's going to happen on Sunday. On Monday, I'm going to use the time that Gio's in his little program to record a lot of videos, which I've already done today, and then go live at 11 a.m. Eastern. So I'm going to try to make the live show a weekly thing, probably only about 30 minutes. But so I'd like to build it to where people can expect that I would be here, and that you can come with questions. We can, talk about things, and it would just be a place for us to gather in real time. So that'll be Mondays at 11. Wednesdays are going to be a pre-recorded haul video of some type, whether it's an actual haul video where I'm showing you things that I just purchased, or you guys know that I've been watching, I like to do like what I listed, because sometimes it's easier to show you once it's already on Poshmark or wherever, rather than showing you the physical items. So it'll be a haul video of some kind, most likely. And then Friday will be like a random tips video. So some sort of process, some sort of reseller review. I've got some review things coming up from all the stuff I ordered a while back. So it'll be some kind of tip related type video. And then Saturday is going to be, and we had our first one this past Saturday, be the Reseller Conversations series. So that's been fantastic. I had Maria Matarazzo on Saturday. That was fantastic. This week I have a guest coming up. I'm going to only announce them the day of, just in case. But so I've got that coming up this Saturday. I just recorded one now for the following Saturday. So Sundays, it's going to be what sold. Monday's going to be live. Wednesday's going to be a haul of some type. Friday's going to be a tips video of some type. And then Saturday's going to be Reseller Conversations. It's a lot, but I'm excited. I'm loving it so far. And I hope that I'll get the feedback from the Reseller Mom community that is watching to tell me what works, what doesn't, what's good, what's bad. So let me take a look in here. I'm not going to address that one. Somebody took it back. Okay. Just found you and subscribed. Thanks for your help. What would you say best types of listings by platform? Example, Poshmark, high-end, eBay, more vintage, market. That's an interesting question. So I post everything everywhere because I cannot manage it otherwise. So whatever I buy it with the mindset that it's going to go on Poshmark, it's going to get cross-listed to eBay and cross-listed to Mercari. And I primarily only do clothing. Every once in a while, now that Poshmark has allowed some home things, I have a couple of little signs, a couple little decor items, nothing crazy. So primarily I'm clothing, which can go everywhere. And so on purpose, I cross-post it everywhere. I do have a virtual assistant that helps me with that. I've sold vintage things on Poshmark. I'm not a big vintage seller and I don't know a lot about vintage. I just, when I happen to find something that's cool and interesting and seemingly vintage, I put it everywhere. I've sold them on Poshmark. I guess I've sold them on eBay. I know for sure I've sold them on Poshmark. I do think there's a little vintage following community, people that are looking for that kind of thing. I would imagine there is on eBay too. It just stands out to me to say Poshmark. Mercari, I feel like in general, things sell cheaper. I do free shipping on eBay. I no longer do free shipping. I do free shipping on Mercari. I no longer do free shipping on eBay. I'm charging for shipping, and on Poshmark, it is what it is. So I feel like with Mercari, sometimes I'm just, it's like, it's already been listed on Poshmark and eBay for quite some time. So if it sells on Mercari for $10 with free shipping, I'm just kind of moving it at that point. So I'm not saying that Mercari is my clearance area, but sometimes it ends up being like that. I've had good sales on Mercari, but in my mind, I kind of see that there's that mentality. And as far as high end, there are some things that are very high end that I found that I'm like, oh, for sure, this is going to go on Poshmark. And then it goes on eBay. So you just never know. And if you have the ability to cross-post everything everywhere, as long as it's within the parameters of the platform, I say do it. And then if you don't have the time to do all of it, then I'd say do the higher end stuff, because that's going to make you more money and it would be more worth your time to cross-post those items. So yeah, that's kind of what I have to say on that one. Let's see, before this chat goes crazy. Setting my alarm. Awesome. Thank you so much. You're setting your alarm for 11 o'clock. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, no, Maria's great. And she's super like calm and chill and not like, so let me tell you what to do, but let's just talk about what we're doing. And that's what I like about her. So her videos are very relaxed. And that's kind of the spirit of what I want the Reseller Conversations to be, is just a cool, chill conversation between two moms that are reselling that can learn from each other. But sometimes you just want to commiserate a little bit, So Okay, inventory system videos coming soon. It's hard to shoot an inventory system video for me anyway, because it's like I'm trying to show stuff, but I'm trying to do it where the lighting is okay and it makes sense. Some stuff obviously I do here, some stuff is at the storage unit. I mean, everything is stored at the storage unit, but it's just a lot of parts, and then I have to shoot all the parts and then try to think about how I'm going to stick the video together so it makes sense. So yeah, but I am working on it. It is on my list for this month or next month. Let's see. I hate when people are like always reading the chat and then it just goes quiet for a while and it's super awkward. So I'm trying to read fast. Do I relist items? Yes. I will say in the beginning, so I've been reselling 3 years. I really didn't start getting into it until this past year. And I really didn't start doing it in a more organized, deliberate, strategic way until just like the last couple of months. So I'd relist an item every once in a while, haphazardly, and never really felt like it worked. Now that I have a new custom spreadsheet, I hired someone to create a custom spreadsheet for me that I work in and that my virtual assistant works in. And I do plan to go over it in a video. And so that's scheduled. And then I do my video ideas like between 1 and 2 months out. So, I know, turn on my timer. Sorry, because I can only do 30 minutes and I got to pick up Geo. So hold on. I'm so sorry. 19 minutes to go. Sorry, not because I don't want to spend more time with you, but I have to stay on time. Anyway, so now that I have this custom spreadsheet, I can track so many things on it, and it's amazing, and it's giving me so much great insight into my business of what's actually happening in your business and not what you think is happening in your business, because it's two totally different things, at least for me. I make up stuff, apparently. And so back to the relisting, I've made an inventory process, and I have that scheduled to be a video topic. So I'll go over it in more detail, but basically at certain points in the age of an item being listed, different things are happening, and some things I'm going to be doing and some things my virtual assistant is going to be doing automatically as a process, like automated. So we don't have to think about it. I don't have to tell her, hey, can you relist this item? Hey, can you take this item down? Hey, can you drop the price? Like, there are triggers set. We're tracking it, and it's a whole system. And it took me a while to get it to this point, and I don't know 100% that it's working yet because we're just starting to execute on it, but I'm going to gather some data over it and see if it really works. If anything, it at least saves me time in thinking up plans, because I plan a lot. And so I've made a plan. She's executing on it. I'm executing on it. And now we don't have to think about it, and we don't have to talk about it, and we don't have to discuss it. It just is happening. So fingers crossed that it works. Anyway, and so relisting is part of that process. Sorry. So let's see. I have quite a few. Don't worry about the likes. Like, if they like it, they would have bought it. I mean, some people go back to their likes. I get why likes are there. But if somebody liked an item 2 months ago, they're not coming back to buy your item. And I think there are people that talk about it. I've heard some people with like the likers, tough love. And then there's other people that probably don't feel that way, but I feel that way. Like, it's nice to get likes on items, but I have items now that now I'm doing where an item doesn't stay in my store past a year. But before, there were some items that I had for a really long time, and there were lots and lots of likes, and it feeds your ego to have an item with lots of likes, and it looks really good, but it's still sitting there. And I don't want people to like items. I want people to buy items. And so if it shows up new, I think that's more powerful than someone seeing an item that has a lot of likes. Are you taking it away from someone that might go back and buy it? Yes. But if they really wanted the thing, they'd be searching for it. I don't know. It's whatever you think. I just think if they would have bought it already, and it is what it is. And so maybe you lose a few of the most recent likers that might go back on the next payday or whatever. So there is that chance. But I think in general, relisting is more powerful for you than somebody possibly going back to a like, is my thought. Yeah, so 6 months to relist at this point and 1 year to get rid of it for the most part, unless there's a specific like seasonality to it. and then I would keep it a little bit longer. Let's see. I don't think I'm a great pricer. I probably price things too high, and that could be why things don't sell more quickly. And it's an issue that I've evolved to. And so it's something that now that some other things have been taken care of in my business process-wise, I can devote a little bit more time to really figuring it out. So I'm experimenting with some items being priced to sell. If you've watched some of my videos before, you know I don't spend a lot of time checking comps for prices. To me, I just don't feel that it's the best use of my very limited time. And if you have limited time, I don't recommend that you spend a lot of time doing it. There may be some value in it, but I think it's a rabbit hole that people can get sucked into. And so I think spending 2 and 3 and 4 minutes even on an item looking up a price is too much time. Put it up at what you think based on good, reasonable, educated guesses, or based on a very quick search, and see what happens. And then if it doesn't sell, drop the price or relist it later. And if that doesn't work for you, then go back and retool your strategy. But like I said, for me, I'm trying to get the low-hanging fruit as much as I can because my time is so limited. So like another example of that is when I have my photographer fill out her form, and then that information regarding the item description goes to the virtual assistant, or when the virtual assistant is listing. And so they're basically coming up with the keywords, not me. And so sometimes some items have some cockamamie crazy keywords. Like it's not what I would have put, but I didn't put it, they did. And it sometimes sells anyway. So I'd rather get the cream off the top of anything that's going to sell as a result of their efforts and not mine. And then when it doesn't sell after a little bit, then I can go in and revise it, add some keywords and help it sell. And sometimes my keywords don't even help it sell, but at least it's letting the other people do the work first, and then I go in later as a result of the not selling. And to me, I feel like that's more efficient. It's possible that I'll change that over time as Gio goes to school longer and more, as he, goes to VPK and kindergarten and whatever. But for right now, I don't have all the time in the world to spend on these listings. So they just need to get up and see what sells and get up and see what sells. Excuse me, I'm still like super messed up from being sick that week ago or 2 weeks ago. I did some auctions. I don't really do a lot of auctions. I go back and forth on it because they're free listings that I could be using. My problem is I don't feel like I have the time to properly manage them, because you need to go in and find something that you're going to take off of Buy It Now, put it onto auction. So there's that time commitment. Then you've got to set that auction up, whether you draft it and then set it live or set it live at the time that you want it to end. And that's usually at night. And so I've heard that people say the best time to end auctions is 9 o'clock at night. Well, at 9 o'clock at night, either I'm still in the process of getting Gio to bed, or I've just gotten him to bed and I'm in like Prosecco time and wine time. And I'm just sitting down on the couch to be like, okay, like I'm kind of off mom duty for now. The last thing I want to be doing is making auctions go live. And I know I could probably schedule them, but I don't want to pay the money. So that's how I feel about that. Again, in the future, perhaps I will change that. But for right now, I'm not auctioning things. So somebody's bringing up list perfectly. I'm not using it right now. Maybe I will. I'm kind of in a research mode, a research stage of it. I'm not 100% sure if it would be the best thing, because right now I do have a virtual assistant that does all that for me. So if I feel like it can do exactly what she does and for cheaper, then yeah, maybe I would do it. But then I would have to decide, am I now going to sit there and initiate these cross posts with the system? Because then now that's time back onto me, and all the time in changing the process up. Or would I buy it so that my virtual assistant could utilize it and make her process faster, and then perhaps pay her a little bit less? I'm not sure I want to rock the boat just yet, but I do want to test it out and see. I just haven't gotten to that point yet. So I'm interested. I think it's a great idea. And if you don't have anything going on for your cross posting, then I think it's definitely you should be looking into it and seeing, because I think it could totally change the game for your business if you're not cross-posting, and this would help you to cross-post. But if you're already cross-posting, I think you need to look into it pretty specifically, because you want to compare it to what you're already doing and don't want to necessarily like monkey around with a system that's working for you if it is. So yes, that's my thought on that. Let's see. Yeah, this is done for sharing. So I did a video on all the strategies that I use to get more followers on Poshmark. 3 years in, or a little over 3 years in on Poshmark, and I have almost 325,000 followers on Poshmark, which I think is pretty good. And it could be more, but there are times where I do a lot of pushing to do followers, and I do activities to get followers. And then there's periods of time where I don't bother with it. It just depends on how busy things are. I have at some point had my virtual assistant do strategic following to get more followers. I don't do that now. It worked, but I don't know that it translated into that much more sales to, justify the payment for that person, but it was a good test. And I do have some ideas for future experiments and tests. I just haven't gotten around to making those videos yet. So I would check out the video that I did on followers. For sharing, I haven't really ever gone over my sharing strategy. I think I've just done it in bits and pieces, but basically I have a virtual assistant share my closet at 7 a.m. Eastern, at 9:30 Eastern p.m., 7 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Those are 2 full closet shares, the whole kit and caboodle, women's, men's, and kids. That's how I have everything organized. At 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern, I have the virtual assistant just share women's, and that hits the 3 o'clock party. And then I try to go in and share burst throughout the day. So whether I want to share just my boutique items real quick for 2 minutes, or I want to share just the most recently listed items, or I like to have the items with stock photos at the top. So sometimes I just go in and share some items with stock photos for a minute. It depends, on what's going on in that day. Some days I can do a lot of share bursting, and some days I don't get to do any. It just depends. Like today, I'm all about YouTube while Gio's at school. So from like 9 o'clock till now, and until I go, I haven't touched Poshmark, which it would have been good to do a little share burst here and there, but it just didn't happen. So it's nice if you can just get in and share 20 or 30 items real quick. But you should definitely, I think, be sharing anywhere your full closet between 2 and 5 times a day, depending on how many items you have. I have now over 1,400 items. There were times when I had over 2,000 items. So sharing can take differing amounts of time. And for me, because I do have a virtual assistant, I find that that's the first and best thing that you can have them do for you, because it's the easiest thing to train somebody on that's not like super involved. So let's see. Does anyone know how to delete a Poshmark account? I don't know. I've never tried. I would reach out to customer service on Poshmark, or see if there's functionality in the web version, perhaps. If you don't see it in the app, maybe in the web version, there's some different drop downs and things. And if not, then just call customer service, or not call, email customer support. And they're pretty good. They send a thing that says, we'll get back to you in like 48 hours or whatever. And then they always do. And it's always a real person. If you reply back, that person replies back to you. So their email support is pretty good. I do followers games. I think those work. I mean, I do them every once in a while, because usually new ones pop up, and I don't do it all the time, but like I'll go in and I'll like a bunch of follow games, and I'll for a few days get like a ton of followers. So that is a good way to get quick followers. Do I think that they're necessarily the right buyers? I don't know. I mean, it just depends. But I think followers games are okay to get involved in. I don't think you have to make a new account. You can change your email address on your Poshmark account, Simply Dana. I've changed my email address. So if that's what you're talking about, you should just be able to go in and change your email, not necessarily create a new account. You can also ask them to change your username I've done that too. When I first signed up, I was not Mom Roar Boutique. I was just Rebecca, whatever the heck. And then when I decided I was going to name my business that, I asked them to change it. So you can change your email and you can change your username. And that maybe would help solve the problem. I do not hang items anymore. I do hang unlisted items. So like right now I have a rack with things that I'm going to take photos of or things that need to be steamed. When I'm done steaming them, I take them. If I'm doing the item, I take photographs here, fold it up, package it, one of these, and then bring it to my storage unit, and it gets stored in the plastic bags in bins. If I'm giving it to my photographer to take pictures of and I've steamed it, I have a rack now at the storage unit that I keep it hanging so that I've done all this work to steam it. Now she can take it, hang it in her car, take pictures of it, and then she'll fold it up and put in one of these too. So they all get stored like this. Nothing is stored hanging. I used to, and I bought a bunch of racks and stuff, but I just found that over time, as you accumulate items, it wasn't the most space efficient way for me. And I liked the saving the time on the back end to ship an item out and not have to pack it at that time, but to take care of it all on the front end, because you never know when you're going to be busy and you're trying to get shipping done quickly. Now you have to pack all these items, and that doesn't matter unless you're really getting, 10 or more consistent sales, something like that on a daily basis, which I am after 3 years. And so in the beginning, you could hang them on racks and then just pack them as you go and send them out. But when you're getting to 10 a day, it gets to be a lot. And if you're trying to like get stuff done and you have a busy day with your kiddo or whatever, like you can't be packing everything up at that. I did not want to do that. So that's my thought on that. Do you have an opinion on the good number of items to have in your... So it's just going to depend on everyone because, and I see it now, if you're buying in demand, hot, trendy items, whatever, you're pricing them right, you're describing them right, you're listing them at good times, you have a decent follower base, whatever, you could literally have a hard time keeping items in your store. You could list it, it sells, it's gone, and it's like you could be buying, listing, and selling so fast that you don't have a big inventory. Then you could be on the opposite side, one of those people that buys all kinds of stuff. They're not selling well, and you're accumulating and accumulating and accumulating, and you're going to need a lot of storage space. But I've said before, and I don't know who I got it from, somebody, one of the YouTubers I used to watch, that would say, you're not in the storage business, you're in the selling business. And so if you're buying items that are just going to sit, that's not going to work. So now I think I am in the middle of both of those. There's still a little of one or the other. And so I have items that have been with me for a while, and I'm working toward getting rid of them. I did a big clearance of about 500 items that I just should have never bought, I should have never had, and whatever. And I really went down from like 2,000 to down to, actually, I guess I did 800 because I went down to 1,200 items. And now I'm creeping a little bit back up because I'm trying to ramp up production and list more. And we're just coming off of summer slowdown. So I'm at about 1,400 items, I think. And ideally, I would really like 1,000 to 1,200 items. I feel like I could wrap my arms around all of them and actively and proactively manage selling 1,000 to 1,200 items in an inventory, because I can revise them. I can have a process for taking them out of inventory. I can have a process for them being price dropped. That's a manageable amount for me for right now. In the future, though, I do recognize that having more items gives you more chances to sell. And so if you have a rotating long tail set of items, seasonal items, and then short-term items, and you have all of that rotating in flux all the time, that's where your money is going to really be made, because you will have things that sell quick. You'll have things that take longer, but that you can get more money for when the time is right and the right buyer presents themselves. And then you're going to have things that you buy now, but it's really a winter item, and so it'll sell when it's winter. I can already start to see the change now of sweaters that I bought months ago that now the likes are starting to come, the sales are starting to come, the cashmere items are starting to sell, the North Face items are starting to sell. And so people are starting to get into that time frame. Also, my Halloween costumes are selling. So, you know, you have to kind of look at it on the whole, I think. So for me, I'm at 1,400. I could see me at some point being happy at around 2,000 or 2,500 when I have more time to actively manage that many. But right now, I think shrinking down a little bit and having faster selling, better items would be better for my time constraints right now, with Geo still being little, and then maybe more a little bit later. I think too, I can have like 2,000 or 3,000 items in my storage unit the way I have everything set up. So there's that too. It depends on what your capacity is. I'm going to answer these couple of questions, and then I'm going to kind of stop at Diana's question here because then I definitely have to make sure I get to Geo on time. But this has been great. It's like super active questions. This is awesome. The last chat I did not have this much activity. So thank you so much because this is fun. Like I love this. Anyway, I'm such a dork. Where did I go? Do you ever? No. Hi, becoming a Posh ambassador. I don't think becoming a Posh ambassador means anything but becoming a Posh ambassador. I was a suggested user, which was the program before it was Posh ambassador. I think at that point it did help you get a lot of followers. And so that is good and can be good, but I don't think becoming a Posh ambassador will necessarily translate into anything. But I do think that it gives people that were considering buying from you confidence and peace of mind. And so perhaps that might lead to a sale versus not lead to a sale. If someone had the choice between a Posh ambassador and a not Posh ambassador for the same item, I would think they would buy from the Posh ambassador, but I don't think that many people analyze it that much. I think it's a lot of all kinds of women that just go on the app and just buy what they want to buy. So I don't know. Let's see. More listings makes more sales. I think so. I mean, you can look at it a bunch of different ways, but yeah, I mean, the more at bats you have, the more possibilities to have something that would work for someone, the more possibilities to have the thing that someone is searching for. Yeah. But also too, the activity of listing more is going to bring more sales because that's what the algorithms want. So the more listings you have going up of good in demand, well-described, right-priced items should definitely lead to more sales. So the answer is always listing, I think. I mean, don't list junk, but the answer is always listing. And that's what I do. I mean, I do work on management and I do work on inventory process and things like that because you just can't list for forever indefinitely. But whenever I have an issue, it's how can I list more? How can I get more listings up in a day? How can I source more so that I can list more? That's what it's all about for me. Yes, thank you, Girl Gone Thrifting. I know, I can't wait. If this is personal, please ignore. Take home. So I'm not going to answer that right now. As far as my own take home sales and salary, I'm toying with the idea of doing a video, and I kind of would rather do it closer to the end of the year than right now, especially coming off of a slow summer for me. And also August is a month where I pay my virtual assistants 3 times because I pay every 2 weeks on a Saturday. So like this month is going to be tight, but I will address it. I just don't want to address it now. I can say that my income that I've taken home has fluctuated over time. And it depends on so many things and I've had a couple of different ways that I've done business. For a while, I paired up with my sister where we split the profits. For a while, I did it on my own, but had no virtual assistants and no photographer. Now I do it by myself, but have a photographer and 2 virtual assistants. And I have a little guy that I primarily stay home with. So, and I've invested in lots of wholesale and boutique items, where some people it's strictly thrifting. So there's a lot of things that go into what you're making and what you're taking home and where you're choosing to make investments. Are you at the point where you are making investments? And I'm at the point where I've made a lot of investments. And so that means I make a little less, but I'm doing it to prepare the infrastructure for a business for the long haul. So there's so many individual choices that go into it. I will talk about it, but I think I'm going to do it closer to the end of the year. And let's see. Okay, so that was all. Thank you for watching. I can't answer. I'm not a doctor. I'm so sorry, Anthony. Bye. Okay. So now I see, and I'm always like, I don't need any kind of moderator because I'm a small little channel that nobody cares about. And so like, nobody's going to go on and like, you hear people talk about trolls, and this is all coming from like being a watcher of YouTubers and a watcher of videos and then actually trying to do it yourself. And it's like, now I guess I kind of see when there are, it's hard to manage that chat when you're talking at the same time. But anyway, thank you all for being here. We did not get to the little haul. Either I'll save it for, well, actually I can't save it for next week because I have to get back with her. I will maybe do a Instagram post or something with it later, or maybe I'll record it and put it up later, just because I do think showing the local closet clear outs that I have, I was going to show this little haul, like, are cool and valuable. And since it was a small one, it would have worked, but I do need to go and get to see Gio, make sure he's not the last kid that gets picked up, because preschoolers don't like that. So I hope everyone has a great day. I hope everyone has great sales. Come back again next week at 11 a.m. And if for some reason I can't do it, I'll always post on Instagram that I can't, so that way you're not wasting your time. I know it's very valuable as a reselling mom. And so check Instagram if you're not following me there. It's at The Reseller Mom Show. If you're not subscribed here, please do. That'd be awesome. And have a great Monday, everyone. Thanks so much. Where do I end?